Brothers and sisters of Burkina Faso, children of Africa, I stand before you today not to flatter the powerful of this world, not to bow before the empires of greed, but to speak the truth of what has just taken place. A few days ago, I received a call, not from an ordinary man, but from one who once held the title of President of the United States of America, Donald Trump. In that call, he told me, "We have American companies ready to bring $15 billion into Burkina Faso. We will build oil refineries. We will launch projects to extract your oil. We will begin new ventures in your gold mines. But we, the Americans, must control them. We must lead. We must own." And to that call, I gave an answer that must echo across our land forever: no. I said no because the dignity of Burkina Faso is not for sale. I said no because our gold and our oil are not bargaining chips. I said no because history has already shown us what happens when foreign powers come into Africa with promises, with smiles, with handshakes. They come with contracts in one hand and chains in the other. They leave us with poverty, with wars, with humiliation. My brothers and sisters, do you know why Africa became poor? Not because we lacked resources, not because we lacked intelligence, but because our leaders before me opened the doors wide. They let foreigners take our gold, our cotton, our uranium, our oil. And in return, they received suitcases of cash, bank accounts in Europe, palaces in Paris, and a seat at the tables of those who despise Africa. Those leaders betrayed you. They sold your future for their own comfort. And because of them, Africa became the richest land under the feet of the poorest people. But I am not that leader. I will never be that leader. I do not wear this uniform to kneel before the West. I wear it to defend our land, our people, and our future. So when Donald Trump or anyone else tells me America will bring $15 billion, but demands control of our oil, I say, go and tell your companies that Burkina Faso is not for sale. We are not fools. We know their games. They build a refinery, but they control it. They extract the oil but ship it abroad. They hire a handful of us while their corporations grow rich from our soil. They mine our gold, but that gold lights up their markets, not our schools, not our hospitals. They leave us crumbs while they feast on the banquet of Africa's wealth. That is not partnership. That is theft. That is exploitation. And I tell you today, brothers and sisters, that era is over. In Burkina Faso, we will build our own future with our own hands. Our engineers, our workers, our youth will carry forward our projects. Our wealth will serve our people. This is the promise. This is the fight. This is the new Burkina Faso. They are the ones developing our gold mines. And every drop of oil that flows from our soil will first serve the children of Burkina Faso. Every gram of gold that shines in our rivers will first shine in the lives of our farmers, our students, our mothers, our soldiers. This path will not be easy. I will not lie to you. Building an independent nation demands sacrifice, discipline, and unity. But the alternative, selling ourselves to the highest bidder, is worse. The alternative is slavery dressed as partnership. And I swear to you, I will never lead you into slavery. Do you know why they are so desperate to seize our oil and gold? Because their own lands are running dry. Because their wealth was built on the backs of Africans, and without Africa's resources, their empires collapse. That is why they fight so hard to keep us weak. That is why they send coups, sanctions, and lies against us. That is why their media calls us dictators whenever we say no. But if defending our resources makes me a dictator in their eyes, then let the whole world know I would rather be called a dictator by the West than remembered as a traitor by my people. Brothers and sisters, we are not alone. Already, other nations are coming, not with chains, but with respect. Countries from the East, from Asia, from the global South are ready to trade fairly. They do not demand ownership of our refineries. They do not demand to steal our gold. They want partnership, not exploitation. That is the path we must walk, a path of sovereignty and dignity. And let me be clear, those who think they can intimidate us, those who think they can sanction us, those who think they can isolate us, they underestimate the spirit of Africa. They underestimate the courage of Burkina Faso. Let them block us. Let them threaten us. Let them try to divide us. They will fail, Because we have already chosen our destiny, and our choice is freedom. The oil beneath our soil will power our schools, not their factories. The gold in our rivers will fund our hospitals, not their banks. The wealth of Africa will stay in Africa. That is my promise to you. And I swear before God and before our ancestors, no foreign power, no matter how rich, no matter how strong, will change that. Remember our ancestors who resisted colonization. They had no armies, no planes, no billions of dollars. But they had dignity. They had honor. They had the conviction that their land was sacred and not for sale. Today, we must carry that same spirit. Today, we must tell the world, Burkina Faso is not a mine for the West. It is a nation of proud people, rising by their own strength. The road ahead will be hard. We will face obstacles. We will face pressure. But I would rather walk a difficult road with dignity than an easy road with chains. I would rather give you a future of independence than sell your future for my comfort. So when you hear that Donald Trump offered Burkina Faso $15 billion, know this: I rejected it. Not because we do not need development, but because we refuse enslavement. We will build our refineries. We will mine our gold. We will create jobs for our youth. We will raise living standards. We will give our children education. We will give our people health care. And we will do it not as beggars of the West, but as masters of our destiny. Let the Americans hear this. Let the Europeans hear this. Let the whole world hear this. Burkina Faso will never again be a land where foreigners come to steal and leave us with nothing. We are awake. We are united. We are ready. Our ancestors gave their blood for this land. Today we will give our sweat, our courage, and our determination. And if need be, we will also give our blood. But one thing is certain: the oil and the gold of Burkina Faso will never again leave this land without first building the future of our people. This is my answer to Donald Trump. This is my answer to every foreign power. Burkina Faso is sovereign, and sovereignty is not for sale. Brothers and sisters of Burkina Faso, I must speak to you today about a call that shook me. Not out of fear, but because of the arrogance with which it was made. That call came from Donald Trump, the man who once led the United States of America. A country that has never looked at Africa as a friend, never as a partner, but always as a quarry to be plundered. He came with what sounded like a grand offer. He said, "Why have American companies ready to invest $15 billion in your land? We will build oil refineries. We will extract your oil. We will mine your gold. All of this, if you allow us to control it. $15 billion. They speak the number as if it were a treasure so great that we should tremble, bow, and thank them for their generosity. But I ask you, my people, how many billions have already been stolen from Africa in the last 100 years? How much gold, how much oil, how many diamonds, how much cotton and uranium has left our soil, enriching the empires of the West, while leaving our children barefoot, our mothers without hospitals, our schools without roofs? What is 15 billion compared to the hundreds of billions already stolen? It is nothing but bait on a hook. And the hook is made of chains. So without hesitation, I said no. I said no because I will not sell the people of Burkina Faso to any foreign power. I said no because our oil is not theirs to refine. Our gold is not theirs to mine. And our land is not theirs to own. I know their game. They promise billions. They bring their machines. They build their facilities. And then they take everything. The oil, the gold, the wealth. While leaving us with crumbs. Crumbs that cannot even feed our children. When they say investment, what they really mean is control. They mean ownership. They mean deciding how much of our own resources we are allowed to keep. That is not investment. That is modern-day colonization. And I say this to you clearly, Burkina Faso has had enough of colonization. We will never go back. Some will ask me, but Captain, why reject a 15 billion when our nation needs schools, hospitals, and jobs? And I answer this, because the money of the exploiter comes with chains. Because the jobs they offer are crumbs, while the real wealth flows out of our borders. Because the hospitals and schools they promise are never truly ours. They are built as symbols of dependence, not independence. What good is one foreign-built school if our own gold could build 10? What good is one hospital funded by foreigners if our own oil could fund 100? I rejected that deal because I want us to build our future with our own hands. Yes, it will take time. Yes, it will demand sacrifice. But it will be ours. But at least it will be ours. At least it will be free from foreign chains. At least when our oil flows, it will fuel our factories, not theirs. At least when our gold shines, it will build our roads, not theirs. Make no mistake, brothers and sisters, they are desperate. They see that Africa is rising. They see that we are no longer blind. They see that leaders like me are saying no to their theft. That is why they come with these so-called generous offers. They want to buy us before we stand tall. They want to chain us before we rise. But I will not allow it, not under my watch, not as long as I breathe. $15 billion is nothing compared to the dignity of a free people. 15 billion is nothing compared to the strength of a united Burkina Faso. 15 billion is nothing compared to the wealth already beneath our feet. Wealth that we will extract with our own hands. Wealth that will give our people jobs, food, schools, and hospitals. So let the world hear it clearly. Donald Trump offered 15 billion to control our oil and gold. I said no. And tomorrow, if another comes with 20 billion or 50 billion or even 100 billion, I will say no again. Because Burkina Faso is not for sale. Because our oil and gold belong to the people of Burkina Faso. Because our dignity, our sovereignty, and our freedom are worth more than all the billions in the world. But I must speak a truth that is painful yet necessary. For too long, the chains on Africa were not only forged in the West, they were locked around our necks by our very own leaders. Yes, I say it clearly, many who came before us, dressed in fine suits, living in palaces, betrayed their people. They sold your future for their comfort. They opened the gates of our nations wide to the plunderers of the West. Look around you. Africa is the richest land on earth. We sit on oceans of oil, mountains of gold, fields of diamonds, rivers of uranium, forests of timber, and fertile lands that could feed the world. And yet, ask yourself, why is the African child hungry? Why does the African mother die in childbirth without medicine? Why does the African youth risk deserts and seas just to survive? The answer is bitter but clear. Because our leaders traded our dignity for their luxury. They signed deals that robbed us. They took loans that enslaved us. They called it development while they filled their bank accounts in Europe, built mansions in France, and sent their children to America, while yours sat in schools without books, without desks, without roofs. These leaders were not guardians of their nations. They were gatekeepers for the colonizers. They let foreign companies mine our gold, drill our oil, cut our timber. And in return they took commissions, suitcases of cash, luxury cars, and promises of safety when their people finally rose up. And when they fell, where did they run? To Paris, to London, to Washington. Never to their people. This is why I tell you, brothers and sisters, the poverty of Africa is not destiny. It is not a mystery. It is the result of betrayal. Our nations were not only looted by outsiders, they were looted by our own rulers who chose their stomachs over your future. But listen well, I am not here to mourn the past. I am here to expose it so that we never repeat it. I stand before you to say this clearly. I will not walk the path of betrayal. In Burkina Faso, the age of puppet leaders is finished. I am not here to dine in Paris or to bow my head in Washington. I am here to serve you, to defend you, and to make sure our resources are used for our people, not stolen for the comfort of a few. When the West looks at Africa, they see only resources. When corrupt leaders look at Africa, they see a chance to enrich themselves. But when I look at Africa, when I look at Burkina Faso, I see the mothers who rise before dawn to work the fields. I see the soldiers who give their lives to protect our land. I see the children whose eyes shine with hope if only we give them the chance. That is why I will never be a leader who betrays his people. Do not be deceived. The West will continue to search for leaders they can buy. They will continue to create puppets who dance to their tune. But as long as I stand here, I will not dance for them. I will march only for you. And if the day ever comes when I betray this nation, if I ever sell our gold for my own comfort, Then I ask you, rise up and remove me. Do not let me become one of those who ruined Africa. The curse of betrayal must end here. Africa no longer needs leaders who kneel before foreign masters. Africa needs leaders who walk with their people, who suffer with them, who fight with them, and if necessary, who die with them. I condemn those past leaders not to insult their memory, but to warn us. Their betrayal must remain a lesson, not a cycle. Their mistakes must remain our history, not our future. Africa is rich in minerals, but it must also be rich in dignity. Africa has mountains of gold, but we must make it shine with honor. Africa has rivers of oil, but we must use it to fuel our factories, our schools, and our hospitals. The era of betrayal is over. In its place, we must build an era of sovereignty, of pride, of true leadership. I stand before you today as a soldier of that new era. I swear before you, before God, and before our ancestors, I will never betray you. I will never sell you. I will never allow our resources to be stolen while our children go hungry. Those days are finished. Burkina Faso belongs to its people, and Africa belongs to Africans. We will rely on ourselves. We will build with our own hands. We will not wait for the West to tell us how to use our gold. We will not beg foreign powers to show us how to use our oil. And we will not trade our future for crumbs while they carry away the feast. We will put our trust in our people, in our workers, in our companies, and above all in our youth, because the destiny of Burkina Faso must be written by Burkinabe hands. For too long, we were told a lie that Africa cannot survive without the West. They told us we were too poor to build our own industries, too uneducated to manage our own resources, too weak to stand on our own. But ask yourselves this: if we are too poor, why do they cross oceans to steal our gold? If we are too weak, why do they fight so hard to control our oil? If we are too uneducated, then why are their companies full of our engineers, our doctors, our workers, the very people who build their wealth abroad? The truth is simple, brothers and sisters, we are not weak, we are not poor, and we are not incapable. We are only kept down so that they can stay on top. That lay ends today. From this day forward, Burkina Faso will walk the road of self-reliance. We have oil in our soil, and we will refine it ourselves. We have gold in our rivers, and we will mine it ourselves. We have fertile land, and we will cultivate it ourselves. In doing this, we will create jobs for our youth. We will build industries for our economy. We will strengthen our currency, and we will keep the wealth of this land where it belongs. Here at home. Why do so many of our young people risk deserts and seas to reach Europe? It is not because they do not love Africa. It is because Africa has been denied opportunity. It is because our resources have been stripped away, leaving no jobs, no industries, no hope. But if we refine our oil here, if we mine our gold here, if we process our raw materials here, then our youth will no longer flee. They will find work here, pride here, and a future here. This is not a dream. Already our own companies are rising. Already, Burkinabe workers are proving that they can achieve what foreigners once told us was impossible. And I promise you this, I will give them every law, every policy, and every resource needed to succeed. Because a nation that cannot rely on its own people is not a nation at all. It is a colony, and we will never again be a colony. Education will be the foundation of this self-reliance. We will not only extract oil and gold. We will teach our children science, engineering, medicine, and technology so they can turn those resources into real development. Our schools will no longer prepare our children to serve foreigners. They will prepare them to serve Burkina Faso. The revenues from our oil and gold will not be sent abroad. They will build hospitals here. Our mothers will not give birth without doctors. Our fathers will not die of treatable diseases for lack of medicine. Our children will not go hungry in a land of wealth. The wealth of Burkina Faso will serve the people of Burkina Faso first. Yes, this path will be hard. We will face challenges. We will make mistakes. We will have enemies. But I would rather stumble while walking on our own feet than walk straight while being carried on the back of foreigners, because the one who carries you today will drop you tomorrow. But the one who walks on his own never falls far. Brothers and sisters, Nations are not built by outsiders. Nations are built by the sweat, the courage, and the sacrifice of their own people. We must believe in ourselves. We must trust our youth. We must honor our workers. We must support our companies. And if we do this, I swear to you, in 10 years, in 20 years, the world will no longer see Burkina Faso as a land to exploit. They will see us as a nation that stood tall, that took control of its future, that proved Africa can stand on its own. This is my vow. Our oil will serve our people. Our gold will serve our people. Our resources will serve our people. And our destiny will be written not in Washington, not in Paris, not in London, but here in Ouagadougou, by the people of Burkina Faso. And let us speak the truth about the West. They have never survived on their own strength. They have never built their empires with their own hands. They have lived for centuries by drinking the blood of others, by looting the lands of others, by stealing the future of others. Look at history. Europe grew rich not through hard work, but through slavery and colonization. They took millions of our ancestors, chained them, shipped them across oceans, and built their wealth on their backs. And when slavery ended, they did not stop. They simply changed their methods. They planted their flags on our soil, declared our lands theirs, and stripped us of gold, cotton, cocoa, uranium, and oil. And they left us in misery. They went back to their homes and called it civilization. But even after independence, their hands never left our pockets. They still plunder us, not with whips and chains, but with contracts with banks, with corporations. They come dressed as saviors, but their aid is shackles. They come speaking of investment, but their investment is theft. They come offering partnership, but their partnership is slavery. They tell us, we will help you develop. Yet what do we see? Our minerals build their industries. Our oil runs their engines. Our gold stabilizes their currencies. Our farmers fill their supermarkets. So let us ask the question clearly: if Africa is poor, why does the whole world come here? If Africa has nothing, why do the richest nations fight for it? The answer is simple. Africa is not poor. Africa is robbed. The West is not rich. The West is a thief. But today, I say this era is finished. It ends now. Burkina Faso will not remain a field for Western harvest. Burkina Faso will not remain a mine where they take gold and leave us with empty pits. Burkina Faso will not remain a gas station for their tanks while our people sit in darkness. From this day forward, our resources will serve us first. Our gold will build schools, not foreign banks. Our oil will power our factories, not foreign armies. Our land will feed our children, not foreign supermarkets. This is our right. This is our duty. I know they will not accept this quietly. I know they will brand me dangerous. They will call me a dictator. They will sanction us, isolate us, and even try to destabilize us. But let them come. Let them try. We can no longer be deceived. We can no longer be bought. We can no longer be frightened. Because a people who know the truth can never again be enslaved. The wealth of Burkina Faso belongs to the Burkinab. The wealth of Africa belongs to Africans. No longer will the sweat of our farmers, the blood of our workers, the treasure of our soil keep the West alive while our children starve. No more. Brothers and sisters, let this message thunder beyond our borders. The looting is over. The exploitation is over. The betrayal is over. The age of sovereignty has begun. And as long as I stand, as long as you stand with me, as long as we remain united, not a single ounce of gold, not a single drop of oil will leave Burkina Faso without serving our people first. The West has survived by exploiting us. Now we will survive by freeing ourselves from them. This is our path. This is our era. This is the promise I give to you.